Yo, SNA back here a couple minutes later, and we're going to be talking about AEW Rampage, the Holiday Bash edition. And I forgot to tell you, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you guys, you SNA fans. And we're going to be talking about like what exactly went down on the latest edition of the Holiday Bash AEW Rampage. And to start off with Rocky Romero taking on Orange Cassidy. And then this is where he faces off with his best friend teammate, Rocky Romero, because he said even though he lost his CMLL championship like a weekend ago, like last weekend, I should say, and he said he's going to try to work things out internationally when it comes to pro wrestling. This is where Orange Cassidy misheard this from a. He must have misheard this from he must have misheard this from what's that? He must have misheard this from a of an international championship opportunity. So he gave him one for tonight's Rampage, which it was pre-taped, of course. This is where we have both men grappling it out back and forth, like spinning around until they got to the left hand corner ropes. This is where the referee was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. This way I like go. Orange Cassidy was still hanging on to the ropes. Like, man, like don't underestimate this guy. This guy is he's really great. This is where he is. This is where Irish whips on Rocky Romero, arm dragging him back in the ring. This is where Rocky Romero tried to charge at Orange Cassidy, but he hit the leapfrog dodge right into the way. This is where Rocky Romero hang on to the ropes like if he was Andrade El Idolo, like in a very perfectly hanging way. This is where Orange Cassidy tried to run a charge at Romero, but Romero went right down. This is where Orange Cassidy's like touche. This is where he started doing the shimmy, like if he was Eddie Guerrero, but he hit the knife edge shot like if he disrespected him, which I believe he disrespected Gunther because he just hit a loud and painful chop that he's added right on the list, whether if it be in first or last or even somewhere between the middle. This is where he started doing the shoulder shimmy on back at Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy's like, all right, like you the gloves come off, and this is where he started winding his arm like if he was about to hit a chop of his own. But he was like, you know what? I'm putting it back in my pocket, like maybe for the best, so he won't be added to Gunther's list, which I believe that's the other wrestler that Gunther's not going to add on his envy list next to the Sting, of course. He's more of a cooler guy. Like, he's not going to waste his time, like, worrying about putting him on the envy list unless he's trying to provoke him. But this is where he goes right onto the right-hand corner ropes. This is where Rocky Romero tries to go for a back close. Now he ducks, runs right to the left-hand corner ropes. This is where he did a middle missile drop kick. He gives a kip up, but Rocky Romero hits a hurricane right into the upper corner of the ringside area, or the right corner of the ringside area, hits a suicide dive right onto Orange Cassidy, throws him right back in the ring, continuing his chops sessions onto Orange Cassidy repeatedly, onto the orange / wrestler, I should say, repeatedly. This is where he started repeatedly doing. This is where he started trying to readjust his arm. Like after he did such chops, this is where Irish whips him right into the upper left corner. This is where Rocky Romero hit the sidewalk slam backbreaker onto Orange Cassidy, but only got a 1-2 ooh. This is where Rocky Romero started hitting stomps right into the back of Orange Cassidy. This is where he hits a flying head scissor DDT that connects right into the middle of the canvas. This is where Orange Cassidy had him rolling out of the ring into the upper corner. This is where he goes for a suicide dive right onto Rocky Romero, landed right to the barricade. This is where he throws him back in the ring. This is where Rocky Romero counters out, like right to the corner. This is where he had him right to the hanging onto the apron, onto the left-hand side. This is where he was hanging off. Like he had him hanging off. This is where he was on the top rope. This is where he tried to go for a striking kick, I believe, after doing a shimmy kick, like a little little shimmy, like if he was the Latino Heat himself. This is where Orange Cassidy move out of the way. This is where Rocky Romero hits a shoulder bump right into the midsection of Orange Cassidy. This is where he get ready to hit a suplex right to the left-hand corner side, like right inside the ring. But this is where Orange Cassidy was hanging on, saying like, "No, I'll never like let go." Like this is where Orange Cassidy picks up and do a suplex of his own, put him right onto the corner, onto the left-hand side. This is where Rocky Romero goes for a suplex right through the left corner side of the hardest part of the ring apron, right onto that side. This is where he puts him back in and bring him back in the ring. This is where Rocky Romero is getting ready to hit try to go for, I believe, his finishing maneuver, which is that sliced bread like maneuver, right off the top rope. But Orange Cassidy grabs him off him, tosses him right in the middle of the air. This is where Rocky Romero goes. Try to go for a pump kick, but this is where Orange Punch just hit an Orange Punch out of nowhere. The move that he will never use on Super Ninja, or will never successfully execute on Super Ninja Austin, because he's not immune to the Orange Punch whatsoever. This is where Orange Cassidy picks him up to hit the beach break, or try to go for his beach break. Like, well, he was struggling at first, and this is where he landed to him, like, even though his back nearly gave out, got the 1-2-3, retained his international championship. This is where they did have Trent Beretta in ringside, like they said, and this is where they hugged it out as best friends in respect. And this is where Excalibur was like, "You just got to give the people what they want." After he got the sweat wiped out of his head by Excalibur by Trent Beretta. And then this is where we move on to the next segment, which is like they were doing a little Toys for Tots donation giveaway. They showed a vignette of it. They're doing it over the week with the likes of All Ego Ethan Page and Claudio Castagnoli. Yeah, sure, yeah. That's what I got it for, yeah. I figured we ran out, so I went to Checkers earlier this evening and got some.
$2 or $1 some
like $3. You can give me $3 on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll $3. Well, you $3 cash. I was in
Yeah,
because I know I used it too. Because I was planning on buying some, but you bought it.
I bought some, yeah.
Okay.
I got it for $3.88, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to eat this pizza and go to
okay.
I got to get up.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, no problem. You go ahead and do that. But anyways, this is where it was Thunder Rosa, All Ego Ethan Page, Simon's best friends, of course, Simon Miller from One Culture Wrestling, and Claudio Castagnoli, and Lee Moriarty, Prince Nala was there to celebrate the Toys for Tots donation for the families in need, like with kids like that need like things for Christmas, like Christmas dinner, Christmas present for the kids, and etc. This is where we got a backstage interview with Chris Statlander by Tony Schiavone next up. You know, like this way we're getting back on track, and me and about her and Willow Nightingale. Like she was like we're just trying to get back on track, and we come and go, and we hoping for the best for each other. Like and that's what makes us good friends. And nothing will come between us in the matter. And this is where Stokely Hathaway happened to come in on that old boy. Like, don't tell me you're going to bring up anything about him having a lovely night. I have a lovely night with one night stand and affair with Willow Nightingale. Which I'm not sure if that's true in kayfabe or reality. Sorry about it. It's some fried. in hours. Like, it's kind of late. But anyway, this is where Stokely Hathaway, came in. And so Chris Statlander was like, he's like, the fact that William Nightingale has been telling everyone that Church of Light is telling you that you're always in people's business in general, but William's been telling everyone. Before I talk about that, I was like, you got something talking about getting in everybody's business. What about you and Matt Hardy's business, like, for an example? Like, we want to talk about business. It was like, she carried you this past Saturday. Like, you two were lots of collisions happened for her. Because I was like, is that what she said? This was Stokely Hathaway started stirring up the pot and saying, like, yeah, you sure did. It's very interesting the way she said it. Like, trying to get her in trouble and trying to split her and Chris Statlander apart, which he's good for, like stirring up the pot and getting into trouble. But that's all he's good for. Let's look at him breaking into Matt Hardy's home theater room in his house. But don't worry, his wife and kids took care of the job. But anyway, he's like, Chris Statlander and I said, the former TBS championship, the woman who can do anything on the roster set her mind to on her own. But like, if you're gonna hang out with my former mistress, like, go ahead and do so. And also Orange Cassidy and that BITCH ASS Fred Danhausen of his, like, go ahead and do it. Like, that's the offer you cannot refuse. And this is where Chris Statlander was like, did he just call me Kristen? Like, this is where Tony Schiavone said, yeah, I believe so, he did. So, and he's like, that's not even my, and she was like, and she hilariously frowned and said, that's not even my name. And then, but what do you think about this? Do you think that Chris Statlander could join Stokely Hathaway? Have him as her manager, or do you think she's gonna decline the offer? And he's gonna try to do the same with Willow Nightingale. We could possibly see a heel turn from her, or even him managing Sky Blue, or should I say Sky Black, and Julia Hart. Even though they're in kind of in a mid-card rivalry already with Abaddon and Thunder Rosa. But what do you think about this about Stokely Hathaway with Chris Statlander? Like, trying to put out the stop team with Will Nightingale and the best friends Orange Cassidy and Danhausen in there. Let me know in the comments down below. Let's move on to the next match, and it is the Kingdom taking on the Hardy Brothers, which I would say it was most definitely the second match of the night. It was very entertaining, even though this is a one-off tag match, at least for now. But the Hardy Brothers show that they can fight anybody, even in the lower mid card, and they still make it look like a very good marquee mid card match, if not like main event status. Like, for even being in the lower mid card position and looking like sacrificial lambs and glorified jobbers, they still make it work. And they passed that test once again against the Kingdom. Even though they didn't win, they did get them a run for their money. This is where Roderick Strong's like, can I have your attention, people here? This is where fans are booing Roderick Strong and his boys. This is where Roderick Strong was like, I have a few questions to ask, but before I do, I'll ask this man right here, which was there's a fan right here, right in the left corner side. This is where he's like, what's your name? He's like, my name's Floyd. And this is where Roderick Strong shouts like, Floyd! Like, you're totally stupid as hell. Like, and this is where the guy's like, really? Like, did you really insult me like that? Like, you don't even know me. He started cracking up. Like, this is where this is where Tony Schiavone was like, I guess they're liking the stupid stuff. Like, it's very entertaining, you know, like. This is where Roderick Strong was like, okay, enough of the stupid stuff, all right, my good people. How about you boys? Go get them, fellas. That's where our fans start chanting delete, like delete, like to the Hardy brothers, because one, they're big Hardy fans, and two, they just don't like the kingdom. Like, who would blame them? Especially at this point. This really started off with the battle of the match, which was Matt Taven taking on Matt Hardy in a tag team match. We're battling it out, like spinning around and grappling, of course. This is what Matt Taven was like, you're going to. And he started to go for a right hand on Matt Hardy, but Matt Hardy caught him, put him into the lower left corner, and started hitting him face first, right on the team of the turnbuckle on Matt Taven. This is why he started ramming him shoulder into the midsection block to Matt Taven. Then Matt Hardy's like, delay. And this is where he Irish whips Matt Taven right onto the top corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where he hits This is where he slip him right onto the top corner. This is where he hits the striking forearm. This is where he tags in his brother Jeff Hardy to get in the ring. This is where he hits a slingshot right onto the bottom ropes onto the top corner onto the apron. Jeff Hardy catches the throw that Matt Hardy gave to him and hit a leg drop right on the Matt Taven, right onto the top corner apron, like if he was the Undertaker, his idol, of course. But before I continue, I'll be right back. Excuse me. My apologies. Okay, I'm back on the recaps of Rampage. Like, this is where Jeff Hardy got in the ring. This is where he hits a running splash right on the Matt Taven. This is where Jeff Hardy picks up Matt Taven. This is where he twists the left arm of the one half of the Kingdom. This is where they do a double Irish whip right onto Matt Taven, right from the left corner side to the right corner. Hit a double elbow strike right into the head. Jeff Hardy hits a rolling leg drop while Matt Hardy. No, Matt Hardy did a leg drop and then Jeff Hardy did a splash. That's what was the scenario. This is where Matt Hardy goes for a pin, but he only got 1-2. This is where Matt Hardy Irish whip Matt Taven right onto the upper right corner. This is where they're going to go for a clothesline right onto Matt Taven. This is where he gets instant gear. He blocked Matt Taven, moved out of the way when he hit face first right into that corner in the upper right. This is where he tags his partner Mike Bennett in. hitting some, you start hitting some elbow strike onto Matt Hardy. Until the last time, he knocked him out right out cold. This is where Matt Taven started doing his dance, like trying to mock the leader of deletions. Let me phrase that. Say it like this. Deletion! But anyway, this is where he goes for a twist of fate, but Matt Hardy counters out of it. It's where he hits a left elbow right on the face of Mike Bennett. This is where he tags in Jeff Hardy. This is where the Irish whip him, a double Irish whip, I should say, to Mike Bennett, right into the upper right corner. Just where Jeff Hardy hits the poetry in motion while using his brother Matt Hardy as a stepping stool. This is where Jeff Hardy doing doing that dance he does. This is where Mike Bennett tried to go for a clothesline. Jeff Hardy ducks, hits a side Russian leg sweep right onto him. And then he takes off his shirt, like it's trademark shirt, throw it to the audience. This is where he tried to go for his finishing maneuver, the Swanton Bomb. But Matt Taven tried to grab onto Jeff Hardy's leg, but Jeff Hardy hits a left foot kick right into the face of Matt Taven. Then trips his leg and hits his quad, and he hits him right between the family jewels, like down onto the top turnbuckle on the upper right corner. Oh my. Not in. This is where Mike Bennett start continue his beat down on the poor Jeff Hardy. Then double team with him. Double team against poor Jeff Hardy with Matt Taven onto his match. Until Jeff Hardy, it was him and Mike Bennett. This is where Matt Hardy came in, started helping his brother out, fight off Matt Taven, the battle of the mats again. This is where Jeff Hardy went onto the upper left corner side and the upper corner side, like of the ring side, put his boot right on his left fist and started whacking him right in the head, like if he was wearing like a metal-footed fist right onto his hand. He started hitting fist to face right onto Mike Bennett. And yeah, I'll say this was absolutely goofy as well, but not as goofy enough to be right. That's very. I'll say not too goofy, but it was perfectly goofy enough to be added to this list as the goofiest wrestling of the night. And hopefully they continue with this. Like they can more entertaining like this, like they already are. And they need to start scoring more wins, and perhaps maybe the Hardy brothers should be the replacement of Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, at least for now, until further notice. Like when ever Kenny Omega and Jericho will have the opportunity if Kenny Omega recovers from his diverted cultist, like I did with Cortis. Correct me in the comments down below, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna pronounce that right when I read your comments, but anyways, yeah, I think that Hardy Brothers are more than ready to becoming All Elite Wrestling Tag Team Champion. This is where Matt Irish whips This is where he Irish whips Matt Hardy Irish whips Mike Bennett right to the barricade. This is where he grabs on steel chair. This is where the referee's like, "What are you doing? You can't have this. Like, you can't take this. Like, stop. Like, give this back." And then this is where he started grabbing on it. This is where he's like, "You gotta be kidding me." This is where Matt Hardy's like, "What?" Like, "Why you grab that chair from me?" This is where Argon's like, "Matt Hardy, like, don't worry about the referee. Like, even though who I'm trying to help you and your brother try to get this win from what's their names, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, but you got to do it in a way that's fair and do it in a very convincing kind of plan, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense. Like something that's going to be distracted, like that's going to convince them. Like what your first thing you're going to attempt to do is they won't know what will be a distraction, just to help y'all for y'all's advantage of defeating the former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. But anyway, this is where Matt Taven came in, hit the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, win the battle of the mats, and got the 1-2-3 for both him and his teammate Mike Bennett for the victory of this tag team match. And it didn't seem like a squash match, rather than like just a typical mid-card match that ended up in a surprise roll-up finish. And what you thought about this match? I'll say this was definitely entertaining. It showed that the Hardy Boys can still go around in the ring, and even for another decade, like Randy Orton can go for another decade into his 20-year career in WWE. But they're 25-plus year in pro wrestling overall. They need to still keep going. Like they're in their mid-40s, and they're still wrestling like if they're still in their mid-20s or 30s. And I think they still have it left in the tank for another decade at least, like until they're in their mid-50s, just like Randy Orton. But yeah, but in the meantime, like we're just gonna see them stuck in the mid-card playing sacrificial lambs and glorified jobbers. But hopefully that'll be a change very soon by them getting a mega push in the tag division and like for the All Elite Wrestling Tag Team Championships. But we're going to have to wait and see what's next for the Hardy Brothers before we see that opportunity. Right, whatever obstacles they need to go through in order to get that success, which y'all let me know what you think about this case and what do they need to go overcome in the comments down below. This is where we got a backstage interview with Renee Paquette. She was asking questions. Right, Riho's going to be facing Toni Storm for her AEW Women's World Championship at World's End a week from tomorrow, and also Ruby Soho. But you had any time to speak to Saraya since her loss to Riho? Did you ever talk to Saraya ever since she lost to Riho this past Wednesday? And this is where Ruby Soho's like, honestly, Renee, I haven't really got a chance to speak to her. Like, it's just I've been too busy with my own stuff lately. This is where Cool Hand Angela Parker came in. This is where she was light up. Her mood was very light up. She was like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Angelo." This is where Angela's like, "Hey, back to you." And this is where Cool Hand Angelo Parker tried to play some sort of flirtatious sugar daddy of some sort, because he was like, "Look, I'm trying to get some alone time with you for a long time now," and he started like, and you know it's Christmas season, and there's magic in here. You gotta feel a certain kind of way, like, and I know this it feels like you ask for what you want. So for Renee, can you do me a big favor and ask Ruby what she really wants for Christmas? And this is where Renee Paquette was like, "Okay, sure, Angelo Parker, like Ruby, what you want for Christmas?" And like it is well, not Ruby Soho. What I'm talking about, he said, asked me and Ruby what we want for Christmas. Like this is like, okay, like start off with you. Like, what do you want for Christmas first of all? Like to Cool Hand Angela, like, I want for Christmas is that. And he was like, I just want to take this beautiful lady out for a drink tonight. I was like, are you serious? Like, they're starting to make it more clarified that this will be a romantic storyline. And I thought AEW would never do this. I would expect this from a WWE or even TNA, Impact Wrestling even, but not AEW. I thought they were more realistic when it comes to relationships. Like what they did with Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello. Like they were actually together. They're a couple. Like they don't make this into like a love storyline, which I don't think there should have been I don't think this should be an angle. Like, it's just my opinion, but I still tolerate it because it's Tony Khan's decision or anybody creative that came up with this decision about doing the first ever on-screen romantic storyline with a men and with one of AEW's men's wrestlers and their women's wrestler being together, which I'm not sure if this is a good idea. I think some may be successful, some may some sit and entertain, some could be cringy enough for to be ratings to be declining, of course. But anyway, this is where Ruby Soho responded like, "Wow, I like I don't know what to say. Like, and this is where before she can answer that question, this is where Soraya came out of the blue, like just because Angelo Parker was there trying to ask her out to get some drinks with him. This is where she was like, Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. I'm wearing my company sweater. Like I decided to spread some joy, Ruby, and that's what I'm saying. I'm so sorry. Like, Ruby, I'm so sorry. Like, you were so right. Like, I need you. Like, I absolutely need you. And if that comes with him, like, then I'm all for it. You know what? I'm starting to like this. I'm starting to support this. Like, and as much as at first I did not was as a supporter or a hater, like I have no choice but to do so because I really need you because I'm like you're the support of this tag team of the Outcast, and then this way, like I know you have to play tonight, but I have some Christmas. Like I actually got some Christmas gifts for myself. Like sorry about that. Like every day too. Like actually, like there's gifts for you guys. Like go like I want to chat with you guys. Like he's like and he's like y'all you girls are gonna love those gifts. Like and I'm gonna have a quick chat over here with Angelo real fast. This is where Angelo's like. It's really good. He was like, it's really cool that you're coming around, Saraya. This is where Saraya's like, no, like you really need to listen to it. Listen here, you little piece of sugar honey iced tea. She is my best friend, and you, like, she's not my. Like, and he's like, I see what you're doing here, and you cannot have her. Do you understand me? Like, she's yours, like for now. And this is where Saraya's like, no, it's always like she's always will be mine. This was like he's like I'm like he's like whatever he was like Merry Christmas. And this is where Saraya's like whatever, I hate you. He's like and he was like I love him. He's great. Like and this is where Corey Angelo Parker's like serious. You're just talking this much sugar honey iced tea about me, and now you're gonna be talking compliments when you're in the room with Ruby Soho. Like really? Which yeah, that's very confusing. Like in general, like genuinely confusing. Like if that makes sense, but I agree with her in a way. Like I don't really don't see this. She probably don't want to see this happening. What's the point of doing this? Like it just basic. It's just basically a it's basically gonna be a part of a storyline for the next few months. But when it's starting to die down and they'll have nothing creative for it to continue, then it's gonna die. It's gonna be they're gonna die it down and they're gonna pretend that it didn't even happen. Like some like a WWE kind of angle. Like there's this drop the whole storyline like altogether. Like if they don't have nothing else for it to go forward with. Which I would say will be the point of doing that. Like if it's not gonna last for long. Which I'll say for even for not being a supporter of this, like I still would wish the best of luck of playing this role for the respective wrestlers, like from both Ruby Soho and Cool Hand Angelo Parker. But anyways, what's gonna continue? This is where we got Sky Blue, or should I say Sky Black. Let's hope that Nigel McGuinness will copy off my nickname I got for gave to Sky Blue. The only person that's blue around here is yours truly with his fresh, cool blue drip that he has on. But anyways, let's move on. Continue with Sky Blue taking on Queen what's her name? Quan Aminata. That's what Nata, yeah. I mean Nata, yeah, that's what her name is, yeah. Everyone should start hitting strikes on her. Ami Nata start hitting the right hands back at her. This is where she hit the shoulder tackle onto Sky Blue, but she only got a 1-2 ooh. This is where Sky Blue they went on the outside. This is where Queen Abanana not to start throwing her right onto barricade, symbol of steel steps, throw her back in the ring. This is where she goes for a double or triple dipped moonsault majig. This is where Sky Blue hits a Sky Super Kick right out of nowhere, hits a TKO spinning tornado kick. This is where she put the sleeper hold right onto her, which I would never see her do. Oh, before she did, she hit this fire. She did turned into a fireman's a firewoman's cutter. Then she rolls up and hit her with the dragon sleeper. Looked like a reverse version of the Ghoul Lock, which she got the win off of that maneuver. And that was just something that they would add extra on tonight's AEW Rampage, because tomorrow night she will be facing Thunder Rosa and Abaddon, teaming with her new ally, the reigning defending TBS Women's Champion, Julia Hart. But let me know what y'all think in the comments down below, and who thinks going to win that match, which I'm going to be making a review about it. It's going to be my final wrestling review of 2023, overall, before right before 2024 comes to us, which that's a little bit over a week from now, when 2024 will come to us, after Christmas and all the other days, in 2023 that's remained left in this week, a week away from at the end of 2023 and the new year of 2024. But yeah, it'll be episode 193. Yeah, episode 193. But anyways, we're gonna talk about your main event of the evening, which is El Ohio Delphi Kingo taking on Taurus. That's what her name is. Which he Irish whipped him. He hit him with arm drags. This is where he twisted arm into a wrist lock. But this is where he put him right in the corner. This is where he started beating the absolute rubbish out of the poor reigning defending AAA mega champion. This is where he closed on him outside of the ring. This is where El Ohio Delphi Kingo tried to go for a sliding drop kick right onto the corner, right into the left-hand corner of the ringside area. This is where Taurus goes count Black Taurus. That's what her name, Black Taurus. He hit the diving corkscrew. Hit the most incredibly and impossible torpedo / corkscrew suicide dive I've ever seen a luchador has ever did in all of professional wrestling / lucha libre. But anyways, this is where he tried to snake eye El Ohio Delphi Kingo with a snake eye, but snake eye he rolls out of it, pushes him face first right on the rear of the ring post. This is where El Ohio Delphi Kingo try to throw him back in the ring, but he got countered by Black Taurus. This is where he slides out in a sliding kick right into the face of Black Taurus. This is where El Ohio Delphi Kingo tried to go for a dive the second time, which I believe it was a guaranteed, because he hits a diving spinning corkscrew. But I think I could have been wrong, at least 50% of the dive, because this is where Black Taurus picks him up by in the power slam position. This is where he tried to go for a snake eye, but this is where El Ohio Delphi Kingo counts into a reverse DDT into a diving pile driver. But this is where, he tried to go for some kind of a power slam pile driver, but he slammed him into a power slam right into the right corner of the ringside area. And this is where he throws Black Taurus back in the ring. This is where El Hijo del Vikingo get ready for Black Taurus to get up. This is where he kicks him right in the face when he tries to charge at him. This is where he goes right on the top rope. This is where he runs right through the top rope in the left corner side. This is where he hits. This is where he jumps right onto Black Taurus's head. Hit a massively amazing reverse Frankensteiner I've ever seen a luchador has ever done in professional wrestling / lucha libre. Which I would say, yeah, they did a most wonderful job. Like, too bad, I would say this is the third match tonight because for the fact that we had the Hardy Brothers taking on the Hardy Bros taking on, I would say more like the Hardy Brothers, not with Matt Riddle, of course. The Hardy Brothers taking on the Kingdom's Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, and also. And also, we had Orange Cassidy defending his international championship against international championship against Rocky Romero. But anyway, this is where El Hijo del Vikingo try to go for a crossbody, but this is where Black Taurus hits a big Samoan drop back and did a backflip like afterwards, which I checked and he's not from Samoan, but I think it's a different name of the move, like that's Spanish. But this is where he got. But after he got back up, this is where Black Taurus hits a spear right onto the midsection of onto El Hijo del Vikingo. This is where Aubrey Edwards was like 1, 2, 3, come on boys, get back up. This is where. And finally got back up. This is where El Hijo del Vikingo Irish whips Black Taurus right into the upper right corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where he tried to go for a splash, but he dodges right out of the way. This is where he hits an Insta-Giri kick right onto the Insta-Giri kick right onto the Insta-Giri kick right onto the head of Vikingo. That's what, yeah. And our Vikingo Black Taurus, Vikingo hits face first, missing him by a second. This is where he gets chopped, but makes Gunther try to make Black Taurus into some kind of a I would say medium rare steak. After him seeing him do such a move, because he is a bull, and he wants to not only murk him, but he also want to have him for his next dinner when he's on a date with Jenny. But anyways, this is where he puts him right on the top rope. This is where he tried to go for some kind of a top rope. This is where he tried to put him right on the top with him and try to go for some kind of a. Try to go for a top rope military press slam, which he did right on the top and landed him back first right onto the canvas. This is where and I was like, man, that was crazy. That was very crazy. I was like, how in the living hell did he land him back first like that? That's where he picks up El Hijo del Vikingo. This is where. And this is where a Black Taurus picks him up. It looked like about to go for a powerbomb, but he slammed him down like if he was going for a power driver, which made Tony Schiavone and Jericho was like, "Oh my god!" He just literally did that. I wouldn't be surprised if he cracked his neck. This is where Del Vikingo got back up easily, and they were like, "How did he got back up? What the hell?" And this is where. And this is where Black Taurus hits a running clothesline from hell, right out of nowhere. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Aubrey Edwards counted the 1, counted the 2, but El Hijo del Vikingo kicks out the last second of 2.9999999, double triple 90, went to the negative 0.1 away from being 3. This is where fans were chanting 5 forever. It's our clapping. This is where. Ohio Delphi Kingo, I got back on his feet. Intercepts from Black Torres. He hits a missile drop kick right onto where he landed right on to the lower right corner of Team of the Turnbuckle. This is where he tried to go the dot. This is where he tried to go for a crossbody, but he got caught. But he turned around, hit a intercepting Canadian destroyer. The second most amazing count, and the second time I ever seen a luchador ever doing a counterable Canadian destroyer. The second time I seen it tonight, and also the second time overall as well, next to Dragon Lee, of course. This is where he had him laid out right onto the upper left corner, like where he was about to go up right onto the turnbuckle. This is where it hits the double knees right to the face of Black Taurus, like with his face first right onto the turnbuckle pad and to the bottom. I mean, on the top left. This is where El Hijo Delphi Kingo goes right onto the top rope. This is where El Hijo Delphi Kingo tried to go for the 450 or 630 splash, like if he was a Spanish version of Ricochet, like unless Ricochet has some kind of Spanish blood in him. He probably would. I wouldn't rule it out though, but it's just a joke. But anyways, let's move on. That's where he hits them with the move. Got the 1-2-3. Retain his AAA Mega Championship, and that's how AEW ended. Like with their AEW Rampage ended their show, the Holiday Bash edition, like in such a momentous way. Of course, this is the best term to use to describe what happened tonight on AEW, and yeah, and let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. And what do you thought about this match, or what do you thought about any other match? And do you agree with me, or do you think of the total opposite, or do you want to do you think like I'm partially right, and then the other half that you got your own opinion on, which I can say I could hear from either way. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. And also, I'm gonna give tonight's AEW Rampage this week, part 19, a 3 out of 5. It did pretty well for being a C show now, and for being just a pre-tape show, like from AEW Dynamite. They still delivered, like in a way, like even though there was a couple of flaws, like and stuff, like some flaws and some little major, I mean not major, some minor flaws, but when it comes to major, like they mostly got the job done, like when they needed to, of course. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this match in the comments down below. What you thought about AEW Rampage now? Y'all will rank tonight's Rampage episode in the comments as well. But yeah, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin, on this 191st episode. My apologies. Episode of the AEW Rampage review, part 19 of the SNA podcast, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please leave a big thumbs up. Comment down below on your opinion. Subscribe. Click the bell notification so you can be the first one to know when I upload my next video, which I'll be talking about AEW Collision on episode 193. Like I said, will be part 19, the final wrestling review before at least like televised like wrestling review of 2023. Like unless I get I order the pay-per-view of AEW World's End, then I'll be doing a pay-per-view review, which will be my first ever AEW pay-per-view review, like, and my last wrestling overall review in 2023. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching, and also make sure to check out my wrestling news video next, which will be 192 tomorrow afternoon, which will be the SNA podcast, part 74, I believe. But yeah, make sure to check that out. Also, also check out AEW Collision, and hopefully y'all have a great Friday night. And I'll see you all tomorrow afternoon. And when we're looking at the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from the Sportskeeda article, like on December 23rd, 2023. But yeah, until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, is out. Bye-bye, my SNA fans. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas early, by the way.